Good morning, Corbin Middle School. On this week's episode of Keeping Up with Corbin, we have your weekly announcements.
Sports news.
Your 5-day weather forecast.
This week's birthdays.
And more. Keeping Up with Corbin starts right now. Welcome back to Keeping Up with Corbin. I'm your host, Caden. This week, the 7th and 8th grade students will be going to the high school on Wednesday to listen to guest speaker Micah DeLon. Next up, Briley with Tea Time.
Welcome back to Tea Time with Briley, and this is my guest, Miss Cecil. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. So, the first question is, the people want to know, are you really a morning person? Because you're always so happy in the morning.
I am not a morning person, and I wish someone could film me at home trying to make it from the bed to the floor the first or third time my alarm goes off. I am not a morning person, but I get up early enough that by the time I get to school, I'm wide awake.
That's because I figured you were a morning person because you're always like so happy in the morning.
First thing in the morning, I'm not a morning person, but by the time I get here, I've been up for a little while.
That's awesome, because I don't know how you have so much energy. The next question is, which dog of yours is your favorite? Because I know you got a new puppy.
Yeah. All of them are my favorite depending on the day. Probably, I guess, maybe just like students. Someone's having a good day one day, someone's having a not good day one day. A dog is chewing the computer cord one day, not my favorite that day. So I think it depends on the day. Each of them are my favorite on different days, depending on how we're interacting.
Yeah, I don't have a favorite dog either. Okay, and the last question is whenever you were in high school, did you do any sports or extracurricular?
I did no sports. My parents tried really hard to give me some athletic opportunities, but that was not my jam. But I did choir, I did theater productions, and I did academic team things. So I was part of a lot of groups, even though they weren't athletic groups.
Okay, that's very cool. I figured that you would have probably did like basketball or something.
Yeah. I did like an upward basketball in 3rd grade, and the only shot I made all year was on the other team's hoop. So that was kind of the end of my basketball career, my friends.
I played basketball for upward and I never scored any.
Yeah, similar.
Well, thank you for joining us for Tea Time today.
Thank you for inviting me. I had a great time.
You're welcome.
This is Caleb with question of the week, and I have got Caleb. How many U.S. Polos do you think Mr. Ball owns?
I'd say 10.
Say 10. Perfect. And I have got Peyton Gabbard. How many U.S. Polos do you think Mr. Ball owns?
84.
84. Great answer. How many U.S. Polos do you think Mr. Ball owns?
Probably 1 million. It's untelling how many he has in his closet.
Good answer. How many Polos does Mr. Ball own, Allie?
322.
322. That is a great answer. Mr. Robinson, how many U.S. Polos do you think Mr. Ball owns?
Mr. Ball is a celebrity, as many of us know, so I don't think he's very different from Kim Kardashian in more than one way. But in one specific way, I don't think he ever wears an outfit twice. I think as soon as he gets done with it, after a day, he throws it in a pile and burns it. And then he has a factory under his house where, I won't name who, but somebody makes him shirts. And then he has a new one every day. So I think limitless.
Limitless. Good answer. Mr. Ball, how many U.S. Polos do you own?
Yes.
I don't know.
Pick a number.
20.
Close. I usually keep about 3 of each color, 5 colors a week. Occasionally I'll throw some others in there. So it's black on Monday, Tuesdays is red, Wednesdays some form of blue, Thursdays is gray, Fridays typically red again.
Okay, great.
About 15 to 19.
Here's your 5-day weather forecast. On Monday, it'll be raining with a high of 73. On Tuesday, it'll be sunny with a high of 71. And on Wednesday, it'll be sunny with a high of 73. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with a high of 78. And on Friday, it'll be sunny with a high of 78 yet again. Finally, it's starting to look like fall weather. Now on to Allie with Hidden Talents. Miss House, how long have you been lifting for?
For fun, about 10 years. Competitively, started about 8 years ago.
And what made you want to start lifting?
I played rugby for the University of Kentucky and loved the conditioning, so I just kind of started from there, started competitively doing it when I found out I was pretty good at it.
That's amazing. Now on to Bailey with Joke of the Week.
This is Bailey with Joke of the Week. Johnny, what's brown and sticky?
What?
A stick.
Ah!
Coach Jackson, what do you call a rock group that can't sing or play instruments?
Anti-Beatles.
Mount Rushmore. Coach Elam, what do you call a rock group that can't play or sing any instruments?
Play or sing any instruments? A bad one.
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. Thanks.
Miss Hamlin, what do you call a rock group that can't play or sing any instruments?
My parents.
Mount Rushmore.
Oh gosh.
Thanks everyone. Now into sports for this week. Football plays the conference finals on September 29th, and girls basketball will play at home against Meese on September 26th. Next up, Briley with your birthday shoutouts.
The Keeping Up with Corbin cast and crew wants to say a happy birthday to Miss Cecil, Robert Wagner, Maddox Stanley, Raylan Lester, Landon McFarland, Julian Reisner, Logan Black, Adriana Cornelia, Jordan Sizemore, Preston Ragland, Addison Ansley, and Jordan Ray. Now let's turn it back over to Caden in the studio.
Follow CMS TV on Instagram for behind-the-scenes photos of the Keeping Up with Corbin cast. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all of our latest projects.